Right. Good evening, good day, good afternoon, good time zone, wherever you may be. Welcome to July 30th, 2025 Town Hall. We have some things on the docket to vote for. We also have gatherings to talk about. You know, it's, I feel like I said this last year too, but it's always a big year. We've got a lot done. We are past year one of IJF Reborn. We are doing big things. I'm very proud of everyone in the team, of everything that we're accomplishing. We've got new faces and we're going big places. But, we're going to get the, business out the way first, then we'll get to the fun stuff. Karina, you're going to bring us in with the fun stuff. Gabe, you're going to bring us in with the business. So let's get to business. All right, Gabe, would you go ahead and open up into that business?
All right. So for those who may have seen in the email, that one of the things that we're looking to do is amend our constitution and specifically to move Virginia from one region to another. And I'll just go ahead and pop it in the chat, but also voice it out to everybody who was not seeing it. Let's see. Oh, that was too big in the chat. Okay. Well, I'll read it first. Basically, let's see, there was a proposed amendment to the IJF Constitution and bylaws, basically regional reassignment of Virginia from South Atlantic to Mid-Atlantic. The original title is basically saying that Virginia is South Atlantic. Let's see, along with Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and West Virginia. And the proposed is to change it to the Mid-Atlantic, New Jersey, New York, Maryland, the District of Columbia, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. And that's the rationale behind it is that this proposed change aligns more accurately with established U.S. regional divisions and reflects the cultural, historical, and logistical placement of Virginia. Being geographically and organizationally closer to Maryland, D.C., and Delaware, Virginia's inclusion in the Mid-Atlantic region fosters better regional cohesion and supports collaboration among nearby chapters and members. Let's see if I can just cut and paste to the smallest parts. Okay, that should, okay. See, so now people can go ahead and see that. But again, the brief was given out in the email. And so we are holding a vote to see if this is an acceptable change to move Virginia from South Atlantic to the Mid-Atlantic region.
Are we voting now? Because I say aye.
See, well, before we do the vote, officially we should open the floor to any questions, any concerns, that sort of thing. Just keeping in keeping with Robert's Rules of Orders.
There seems to be a confused Brit in the chat.
I was gonna say it's a US thing. Us Americans have a tendency to confuse the living bejesus out of stuff. Don't worry about it. It's just
Yes.
rehashing the eastern, is it the eastern? Yes, the eastern side of the United States into different regions or areas or sections. And we're talking about moving one of the states over to another section.
Maybe we should explain that in order to make amendments, we do have to share these sometimes at our meetings so that we can make amendments. That's why that's being done here at our town hall.
Yes, we were told that perhaps West Virginia as well, but we figure do it one state at a time. if there's any other questions, concerns, clarifications.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then I will go ahead and move it to an official vote, and those can either say aye or just go ahead and post it in the chat.
Darcy stole it from me. I was gonna post like a picture of an eye.
Well, it seems that the ayes have it, so the proposed amendment has been accepted and ratified, and the Constitution will now be changed. Yay.
How many
That'll
eyes
take
do
care
we
of that.
have versus how many people? Or 12 people and everyone said eyeballs? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So 14 out of 14.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I know that. I was waiting for that joke. I was waiting for that. Typically two per person, but I don't know. You could say we all have our third eye as well as for me. So I don't know.
I'm holding back so many jokes in like the past minute. That, you know,
I've always been a four eyes.
Fantastic. That's right. I'm wearing glasses myself. I should have known that one.
all right, then if you're
All right,
dropping the
excellent.
gavel,
Yep. Bang. Yes.
bang.
Bang,
All
bang.
right.
Yeah.
All right, so we got that order of business done. We love democracy. All right. So then we're going to pass the floor to Allie, Miss Seta. She's got a lot of announcements she needs to make in regards to education and some upcoming events. And Seta, the floor is yours.
So, okay, so hopefully it's been going in and out. So hopefully I have no issues. So if I cut in and out, blame it on the weather, not me. Can you guys hear me? Oh my God.
Yes.
Really?
We can hear you. Your face is
Okay.
just very
I just-
frozen.
His face was frozen, and I was like, "Oh no, here it goes again." So,
Yes.
anyways, we do
Yeah,
have
so
classes
before you-
coming up.
I would suggest maybe just turn off your video and leave your audio on. That should help.
Okay, we'll try. Yes. And I end up with issues. Whatever. Okay. So, anyways, we have class starting really soon. It starts on August 28th, and we will be doing another session of semester 1 and rolling through all of the classes again. This time we'll have some different trainers, so things are going to be a little bit fresh. You get some new ideas and whatnot coming through, maybe presentations, which is really exciting. So we're really looking forward to getting that off the ground. And then come this month, we're also
And we lost her. Oh, she's back. Okay.
See, what did you guys hear? What did you guys hear? Where did I cut off?
We have new people teaching. Yay.
Okay, yes, we have new people that are teaching, and we might have some new or no, I do know for a fact we're going to have some new meditation to be introduced to during that. So, hi, this is being recorded. you.
You're
It's
trying to go with the drink on me 2 weeks in a row.
okay. Sorry, guys. Anyways, thing is that we do have the ability, or we are going to have new educators who are going to get some fresh new meditations, some old meditations, maybe some new perspectives. You are still invited, even if you have gone through the Seeker program, to come in. Just make sure that you're giving an opportunity to anyone who is new to continue, or to, give their answers. That way we're not like overbearing or oversaturating everything for the new videos, or preventing them from getting their credits. So there's that. The other thing is that Gabe and I, as mystics, we are going to be starting the inner city meditation, which I know many of you have not been exposed to. Some of you have, but many of you probably haven't. So when we get around to that, we're going to be like giving you a full introduction the first time that we do it, and you'll have a better idea of how all of that works. We're starting that the first Sunday, and we're doing it the first Sunday and the third Sunday of the month at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Is that right, Gabe? We said 11, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I was okay. All right, so that's that. And before I cut out again, I'm going to pass it on to our next person. So take it away, Sophia, and let us know who's talking.
All right, thank you very much. All right. Also, unless I missed it, I knew it was cutting in and out. Did you say the dates to begin of the next semester? Did you say the dates? I missed it. Okay, cool.
Well, in case it didn't, it starts on August 28th is when we begin. And it'll run through towards the end of November.
Yes, and it'll be the first and third Sundays.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So let me go back. The Seeker program starts on August 28th. The ICM begins this coming weekend on Sunday at 11 o'clock. So the education is on August 28th. It is every Thursday after through like November 16th. So we'll have our training then. Okay, giving it back.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, and then we're absolutely excited that Darcy made it here this evening, and Aether made it here too. Two of our UK chapter, Jedi Britannia. That always makes me very happy every time I think about it. Showing off them tattoos, support it, bam. So we're going to do reflections on the gatherings. Both were a big success. They happened, so that means winning. Always do. Yeah. All right, Darcy, I'm going to give you the floor. Tell us what's going on in the UK.
So we had our last gathering end of May, beginning of June. Turnout was decent. Better than anything that I tried planning back in 2023. So we're on a good start. Had some lessons, had some just general fellowship, walking around, discussion. It was great. I honestly enjoyed it. Looking forward to be able to do more of that. What else do you want me to talk about yourself? What are we going for? Sorry, I didn't get much prep today.
No, you're fine. You know, we do. You let the force guide it. So
God.
also you are planning for 2026.
Yeah.
I know you guys had a vote going on. I try to watch everything, not get too much in your business. You guys had the vote going on and things that y'all are aiming for?
Yeah, so we voted on the big gathering for 2026. That's gonna be May 15th to 17th. Of course, that's on top of our quarterly gathering. So we have a day meetup in October 11th of this year. So of course, like there's gonna be lots of opportunities to do like meet up and hang out and do in-person classes. But May 15th to May 17th is gonna be the big weekend, like pack an overnight bag type thing. So I'm looking forward to it. There's still a lot more planning to go from there. We just settled on the date and settled on some basic activities we want to do. But it depends on how many people want to come. The more people to come, the better. Please.
Is that cat down there? Is that cat gonna make it?
My cat.
Yeah, that cat ate there. Is they gonna make it?
I hope so.
No, it's all right. Give me an eye.
They
There you
better.
All right. So then we've also had the US 2025 gathering. Karina, I've heard great things. Karina knocked it out the park. Karina, did you know?
I kept people on track, but
that's not.
but no. Well, I want to know what they did at UK. I didn't hear anything about it. I just saw pictures. What did you guys do? I want to know, did you guys meet somewhere? I saw some lightsaber stuff, but
Yeah.
what did you guys do?
We're going to some details. So first day, which is technically the day before, is just Satunas and myself. We just had dinner and then just talked for a bit. Next day was a bit more the official day, which is of course we got up. We had some prep work to do, so we were just wandering around trying to find a library that would allow us to print. It is very hard to find nowadays. So we ended up at the big Birmingham library, and ended up being all inspired by their books that go back like 200 years. So very, very cool. Then we went and got Lioness from the train station. She's very sneaky and not aware of her surroundings. So she wasn't aware of the gigantic bull statue right in the middle of the place. And we're like, meet at the bull. And she's like, what bull? So we got it all good. She ended up teaching us a class on vibrations. And then that was followed, of course, by some light sparring, which was quite fun. And then, of course, she had to go. She could only come for the day. The next day, of course, we had Lao Tzu come down, which was great. I haven't seen him since 2019, so some time has passed. Again, just more wandering, just more like we had some traveled around to some places. We tried finding something to do, but everything was just a little bit too expensive for just the three of us to just be like, so we just had dinner and lunch and dinner, and then, of course, went to the Peace Garden, which was like for like victims of war, and had my knighting ceremony there underneath a tree planted for the victims of Hiroshima. So it's very, very, very lovely there. Yeah. Then, of course, Lao Tzu had to run off as well, but then we were really done by that point. So we all went our separate ways, and yeah, it's great.
I bet the conversations were great. I love meeting with Jedi because that's usually we get into the most philosophical and like interesting conversations.
Yeah, Lao Tzu and Satunas had never met before. So while we were drinking, like at a pub or whatever, I think we're just like, I just had some Coke and all that, but they were just going, and my goodness, they just go and go, and I'm like listening. I'm like, oh my goodness, so much fun.
No, I'm glad you guys met. I was sad that I wasn't able to go. That was one of the things that I'm hoping to meet you guys out there at some point. I know Sophia wants to go too. I know the lightsaber battles are starting to get more intense. There's a lot of challenges being issued around. So we'll see how next year goes. But yes, thank you. Thank you for going into details. I really wanted to kind of know what you guys did. I had a lot of FOMO. There wasn't a lot of pictures, just lightsaber. I'm like, where's the pictures? But yes, like I can go into the Indiana Jedi Gathering for 2025 this year. Woo! We have actually been at this location before. I don't remember
Hold
what
on.
year
Real
that
quick.
was.
Real quick, Karina.
Uh-huh.
I want to say something about the Britannia
Oh,
one. I'm jealous of you guys.
I already said that.
No, I'm jealous because y'all don't know. I have known Satunis for years. I have known him for years. And y'all got to meet him before me. So I'm
Yeah.
jealous. Okay.
Okay, anyways, so we're all jealous of that they got to meet people. We also got to meet new people at this gathering as well. Sam is in here, new Chicago member. Woo-hoo. So excited for that. I actually got to meet them at the gathering, but they had come to a meetup that we had the weekend before. But yeah, we had quite a new faces this year. Which was exciting because, like I said, we have had a gathering there before. I actually met Alex or Breeze at that gathering as the one we had before at that gathering. So it was really nice to get to see him at this one as well. But yeah, this year I had a lot of fun. It's a little different now organizing a gatherings than it is attending them. There's always more work going on in the background, but we had our team this year helping organize. Gabe and Jay were there. They made good food for us, and that was really really good. And then this location had some really nice air conditioning. It was an older mansion though, so it kind of gave some haunting vibes. But what I'm hoping today is to kind of hear, because we do have some members that were at the gathering this year, and quite a few that haven't been to one in a while. So I do want to hear from you guys. Really, just to kick us off, maybe like a one word that you think could summarize your experience at the gathering this year, and then I will go into each like workshop, and then you guys can share a little bit about those. But first, just to break the ice, I want to invite Sam, Sasha, Connor, you guys to share a few things, and I can get the staff in here, but I really want to hear what you guys have to say about the gathering.
Well, it was my very first time ever going. I'm a fairly new member. But I really, really enjoyed it. I felt very comfortable with everyone. And a lot of times that's not something that I immediately feel, but everyone had really good vibes there. It felt like kind of a family reunion. It was really, really cool. So I really had a wonderful time.
Thank you, Sam. It really does feel like a family reunion. Some people get intimidated by it, but we really do try to come every year, and that is like it's like faces we interact with every year, and there we get to catch up at face to face. That's really nice. But I'm glad that you felt just as welcome because you fit right in.
I'm
That was
glad you think so. I'm very
that was
happy you
really
think so.
nice. I was thrilled. I was like, oh, they're gonna have the best time. Yeah, no, it was really fun. Thank you. And I know Connor is an existing Jedi member, but this is one of the first times that they have come back in a while. So Connor, any things you'd like to share?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good, great. I had no idea if I'd be coming through the car okay or not. Yeah, I haven't been to a gathering since 2019, and really I haven't been involved so much since 2017. But I will say, this last gathering felt particularly vibey, in a good way. Usually, I mean, I've been around for quite a long time, and I remember I remember the days when Jedi gatherings were perhaps 50% drama and 50% family reunion, even though those tend to go hand in hand. I felt like it was far more chill, and we just had a good time. I particularly liked the workshops this year. I felt like they were informative, but very entertaining as well. I really enjoyed your workshop, Karina, and Crystal's and Sasha's, and just everybody did such a wonderful, wonderful job. And I feel very blessed that I had the opportunity to reconnect on in such a banner kind of way. I think really the high point for me was, of course, meeting Allie in person. We've been friends online since, I don't know, 2000, and there was a single digit involved. Like the last year was a single digit, and we're in the mid-20s now. Yeah, so it's been quite a long time, and that was a long time coming. I just want to extend all of my gratitude toward the leadership team for putting in all of their hard work and making it such a success. Gabe and you, Karina, Allie, everybody that was in charge, just thanks for making it a special gathering, and I cannot wait till next year, and hopefully I can attend all of the festivities instead of just half of them.
Yes, thank you, Connor. Those are such lovely words. We will be breaking down or going into each one because I'd love to hear what the experience you each all had in the workshops. So we'll go into details for those, but thank you so much for those kind words. Sasha, did you want to share anything about this
Sure.
gathering?
I mean, for me, it was just like you asked for a one word to kind of describe it, and I would say fellowship was the word that I would go with. It was great to get everybody together again. I mean, this is my fifth one, and everyone kind of has a different feel to it, but this one, I felt like I got to know people that I already knew on a much deeper level, and the new people, I felt like I already kind of knew them at meeting them for the first time. It felt like I was meeting old friends, even though I was just meeting them for the first time.
I love that description. Yes, you have definitely been at every gathering since your first one. You're like a staple in there for me, so so always so grateful to have you there. Like I've already told you, you're like one of my anchors. I always try to hang out with you on the couch. I saw you knitting this year. I was like, yes, this is very Sasha.
I think that's going to be a regular occurrence. That was very zen for me. So
Oh yeah, no, I love that. I love that you brought it, but thank you. But speaking of plants, yours, well, let me start over. But yours was one of the first workshops that we had, but Thursday was check-in. We did have our tea ceremony. I know for the first people attending, that must have felt a little bit chaotic, but I'd love to invite Allie to kind of explain a little bit about what was going on or the meaning behind the tea ceremony, just so that that could be a little bit of more of a breakdown because we didn't have time that evening to really explain all the elements. So Allie, do you have time to just explain a little bit about
Yeah.
that?
So the tea ceremony was something that was kind of in the head of Ross, and he came to me a few years back and he's like, "Hey, Allie, we've had you do a tea ceremony, and then you've done it a couple of times, and then Sasha's come in and really made this tea ceremony thing come to life. Like both of you have done it. I think we need a tea ceremony for the Jedi." And so I was like, score. If we're going to do this, we need Sasha to help. So Ross, Sasha, and I got together and we started talking about different elements we wanted to bring into it. We wanted to have all the elements, all four elements present. So it'd be water, air, earth, and fire. And we figured, okay, so that means that there should be probably for a communal version 4 different people. We have toyed around with the idea of trying to make this into a one person, like you can do it one person concept, but we haven't gotten completely around to that. And I think Sasha probably would be, well, that's a future thing. I'm going to get on a tangent if you let me. So keep me on track, Karina. But so we incorporated the 4 different elements where the water bearer, or the water element, is us chanting over, which comes from Masaru Emoto's work, where you speak into water and it generates a feeling, a tone, which is why it's always the first ceremony that we do at a gathering, for like as a communal group, because it sets the tone for the entire gathering. This tells us what we're going to be doing. And it's just speaking it into the water. So that's why we also kind of end it with like a little note where it says right before you drink the water, it lets you know a little bit more about like what the tone is, because it's still speaking over the water after it's been infused. Then it goes to fire to heat up the water. And we usually, based on whatever it is that we have for the theme, Ross will write something, or last year it was actually Gabe who did it because Ross was not able to be in attendance. So just whoever happens to be that fire element will say something over the fire, or within the fire as it's heating up. Then we pass it on. Our water bearer, so that's air. If anybody doesn't know, that the sign of water bearer, Aquarius, is an air sign. So that's why our Maggie is walking around, passing around the water. So she takes it back to Earth, who opens it up and is infusing the water with earth tones from the tea itself. So that's what our onion knight represents, is our earth element. And then when we got around to thinking about how we were going to deliver the tea, we thought, we're all humble. Jedi are from humble beginnings. We are humble. A lot of us come from nothing, or we have looked at ourselves and understood that our pride needs to be brought down low. So everyone is poured from a ladle, like a soup kitchen. And that's what the water bearer does. Our air has you come up, and she speaks over you a blessing. May the force be with you, just like air moves through people. And that's why you stand in a line, because it's like a soup kitchen. You go up there and you're given what you need for this ceremony. And it's supposed to be a reminder that we are low, but we are also mighty. So those are kind of some of the elements.
Thank you, Ellie. And I think this year's tea also fell in with our theme. We had similar...
Egyptian blue lotus was
Thank
inside
you.
of it. And we also had, correct me if I get this wrong, Sasha, because I keep saying the flower wrong, but it's peony.
Peony.
See, I keep getting it wrong. Peony. So peony, which is the state flower for Indiana. There was also, oh shoot, I know I told you all of them.
Aronia berry.
Aronia berry, which is also native to Indiana. And then since the Egyptian blue lotus was more Egyptian concept, which, look, if you guys go and look it up, it's not that scary. It really isn't. It's supposed to, like, the amount that we had in there is fine. It just promotes like good sleep. But the other one was Assam, because that's from India. Assam tea is from India. And I wanted, since I couldn't get like lotus, some sort of lotus concept from India, I threw in India in there. Because that's where our concept of the lotus flower being resilient comes from. So, yeah, that was our tea.
Thank you. Yes, so every year this is now have been coming a tradition. We're hosting a tea ceremony, but I really wanted to give a little context to it because, like Ali said, it sets the tone, gives our intention of how we wanted to the next of the gathering to go. Um, so that brings me to Sasha's workshop. Sasha, do you want to talk a little bit about your workshop this year?
Sure, I don't mind talking a little bit about it. So, the concept behind my workshop, it was called Planting Your Grove. And the idea was when I first moved home back in, when was that? 2021, summer of 2021. I was, a little lost. I had just gotten out of my 13-year career as a teacher and was trying to find myself. And uh, the farm that I grew up on has always been a safe place for me, but I never really like. I'd played in the woods as a kid and everything, but I never really knew the plants that were around me. You'd see a deer or something in the woods or a rabbit, and you'd be, oh, cool, there's nature, but you never really stop to think about the plants that are around you and all of the nature that's right in front of you. And uh, as I was, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life after moving back home, I was taking a lot of walks and hikes and things like that. And I started noticing all of these different plants that were just really interesting, all these flowers that I had never seen before, never noticed before anyway. And there were like a little willow tree had sprouted in the barn where a pipe had burst. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I wonder what that is. And I just started identifying all these plants around and started developing these bonds, these connections with these plants. And they became my friends in a way. And I got really close to them. And it was something that was very spiritually significant for me. And so I wanted to share that with the community and get other people to sort of notice the nature that they may have taken for granted or just never paid attention to, that surrounds them and is all around them. And the idea of planting your grove is discovering the plants that you interact with or that you pass by on a daily basis and developing a connection with those plants. And just sort of learning to identify them and observe them and figuring out, well, if this plant is catching my eye, what is it trying to tell me? And it's amazing that like you'll notice a plant and then you'll look it up and you'll be like, oh, interesting, that has a connection to me, or that has the historical significance or the symbolism or something of this plant is very important to what I'm going through right now. And I just kind of wanted to introduce everyone to that concept.
Yes, and so many people love that. I personally love that so much. Um, it was me, you, Maggie, I think, and Lauren that was with me ended up connecting, or you ended up pointing out this beautiful tree that I never saw before, but I ended up collecting a little thorn from it. What was the name of that tree?
Oh, it's called honey locust.
Yes. When we first got there was a lot of things that I kind of missed, and it just really amazed me how much greenery there, or how much different variety of plants there were out there. And I really loved how a lot of people connected with things that were like similar to their vibe. Like the one that I connected to ended up being about resilience and um, healing, and I was like, okay, I loved it. I don't know if anybody else would love to talk about their plant that they connected with.
I do. I do. Because the one that I got, I didn't know that it was what it was. And when I looked at it, I still did not know that it was a tree that had juniper berries. But when I saw the berries, which I have never seen outside of being dried, I've seen them dried, which means they're brown and shriveled up when I see them. But I immediately knew they were juniper berries. And I did not know how I knew that. which was so interesting. And then when I looked it up later, I found that it connected with so many things that I connect with. I actually went over to Gabe and I handed him my thing and I was like, check this out. And he was like, wow. And then we also pointed out the Virginia thing.
Yeah,
Both of us
that's-
had Virginia in our scientific names.
Yeah,
just
that's
saying.
really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, mine did too. That's yeah. Sasha, I don't know if you want to share the app. But
Oh, sure, yeah. So the app that I had recommended during the workshop was called iNaturalist, kind of like an iPhone, but iNaturalist. And that is the app that I've been using for years. Although I will say that I was introduced to a new app that I am experimenting with. It's very, very similar. It has the same sort of social media type thing, because the thing with iNaturalist is any public identification you do, so like if you identify it and you make that identification public, other users can see it and comment on it and suggest their own, either reinforcing your identification, saying, yeah, you got it right, or saying, actually, I think it might be this instead. And so you kind of crowdsource your identification in addition to the initial AI identification. And the data is collected and used by scientists who are collecting data on like invasive species and flowering habits and things like that of local flora and fauna in that region that you're in. There's another app that who was it that showed it to me? Oh my gosh. I'll get back to you when I remember, but somebody at the gathering showed me this new app called PlantNet, and it has a very similar functionality, but I feel like I've only done like one or two IDs with it so far, so I'm still experimenting with it. But so far, it's looking like another really good alternative as well to iNaturalist. The one drawback with iNaturalist is it can be a little obtuse. It can be a little not user friendly at times, whereas this PlantNet seems a little more user friendly. But I'll report back to you after I've done more than 2 IDs with it, let you know if it's any good.
Yeah, yes. I think you can do the same type of like meditation too with like animals. There's certainly think that the force is always trying to speak through us through our environment. So that's one of the things that you can use, especially if you're just interested in learning more about how to identify plants, because I'm in nature a lot, but somebody said, it's dangerous to be touching like poison ivy stuff. Like, I don't want to touch anything. But that is an easy way to just like start interacting, identifying things, and just knowing what's around you. And me as a city person, I've already started to notice a lot more things. So I really appreciated that workshop, and the messages that ended up coming through. People shared quite a bit, and it was very impactful, and it led really beautiful to some of the other workshops the rest of the day. I don't know if anybody else wanted to make any more comments about that particular one, but I think you shared a lot of beautiful tidbits about that one.
The only thing that I will say, and then I'll be quiet, is don't put anything in your mouth unless you're 100% sure you know what it is.
Yes. Very, very, very true. Yes. So yeah, after that workshop, we ended up having Bend Like a Willow with Secret Iaso. They talked about the willow tree. I was able to share my own story about the willow tree that was in my local park. Recently fell over. It was infected by termites, and it fell over. The city removed it, and I went into how I was really sad that I wasn't gonna be able to see it or be with it anymore. I've been sharing space with that tree for about 4 or 5 years now. And then Sasha happened to message me like about a month afterwards, and then reminded me of how resilient they are. And they said there's probably branches that are fine in the lake that they're still probably viable. And I went to go see, and there were definitely roots. There were branches that were sprouting, and now I have little baby willow trees that are growing in my space. So really grateful to have connected with that. But as far as the workshop, we ended up doing some stretches to really bend like the willow, really connected to our bodies, meditated with tiger's eye, and then we got to yell to to kind of invoke our inner fire. But I don't remember if anybody else here was a part of that. Connor, do you want to share any experience about that?
Sure. Hello. Yeah, so I was partnered with Adam, or I guess he goes by Rugad, or he says rugged now. I'm
Rugged,
like,
yeah.
dude, pick a pronunciation, man. I personally I preferred the original, the Rujad. I thought
Yeah.
that
Hold
was
up, hold
what
up, hold up. Are you the one saying pick? You.
I picked. There's no it
After
just
you.
it took me a decade and a half, but I picked. Hello. And plus I think Adams was he picked, but I guess people were the ones that refused to say it the way he wanted it to be said. Yeah, so Adam and I had the great pleasure of being each other's partner, and we had some really beautiful discussions about how resiliency relates to the concept of bending back. So not only bending back, but also bending back in both senses of the word. And we just had a wonderful discussion. We Adam and I have known each other for a decade or more now, and that was the first time that we had the chance to partner together for any sort of workshop. So that was a real pleasure. And he gave me tons of insights into like the martial arts mindset. And I gave him lots of insights into the artistic music side of things. And so we were sort of a perfect match in that way. So I had a lot of fun. It was a great workshop.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I got partnered with Crystal or Diamond Shake, a Jedi Knight, Jedi Knight Diamond Shake. And we also had a lot of similarities that we bonded over things. We're like, oh yeah, me too. We even found out that we were the same foot size, and I was like, that's so interesting. But I had a lot of fun with my partner too. Um, and after that workshop, we had lunch. I don't remember what we had that day. But the two other workshops that we did, we were out in nature, and it worked very perfectly to then Crystal's workshop, which was whispering wands for resiliency, with her, which tied into Sasha's workshop. We were also able to I thought I had the book here. Discuss her new book that came out. If somebody could find me the title of that, that would be great. Oh, there it is. Sort of. Gabe's holding it up, but it keeps blurring. um, but yeah,
Whispers in the Wild.
Whispers of the Wild.
thank you. Thank you. Whispers of the Wild is her new book that she just launched. Really excited to dig into that. Haven't been able to yet, but similar vibes as Sasha's workshop, that there are plans that have that can speak to you, and the idea that can also have they can guide you as well and have spiritual meanings, but also the science behind some of that and the medicine they can have. But this time we went out in nature, connected with certain plants, asked for permission before anybody took anything, but she provided certain wands, and everybody had different wands that they were called forth to, and the certain people picked certain ones. I ended up picking one that also had resiliency in the title, so it was really, I thought it was really fun, and people got to decorate them in different things. I know that Connor, I think you also had some connection. I don't know if you wanted to share, or Sasha, if you wanted to share anything about your wands.
I'm always up for sharing. Yeah, so I was chosen by an elm wand. And it was so interesting because Crystal doesn't know, or did not know, that I am a hedge witch, which involves working in various dimensions and realms over the hedge, so to speak. And so to be psychically sorted into the elm house was really special for me. And now my elm wand is a part of my practice, so that's very exciting. I ended up choosing not to decorate it at all because um, there was something I really connected with the simplicity of just the piece of the ground, something that came from the ground, to sort of contrast, so to speak, working in sort of the celestial. Um, I don't want to say realm again. This is too many realms. But that's what I mean.
Yeah. No, thank you. I collected my items. I did not finish it, but because I was also torn about the simplicity, I really liked it too. Thank you. And then my workshop was after that one. I held a workshop called Breathing is Resilience. We basically discussed how our breathing is really tied into our nervous system. We went over through techniques with how to hopefully able to regulate our system. Also explored how emotions appear in our body, because part of understanding how to regulate is also understanding what our emotions, what stories it's creating, how they feel. That is something that I've been really passionate about. My past couple workshops have been revolving this stuff. These are just lessons that have been very helpful for me in my own healing and my own journey work. So I'm really passionate about sharing it with others. And we had some really good discussions. I'm also all up for gathering knowledge from it, the Jedi. So I got a lot of other beautiful feedback. Breeze had a lot of nice touches that he helped enhance the workshop. I know, Connor, you also said you liked this one. So thank you for those nice comments. Anything you guys wanted to share that you got from this one?
I don't want to monopolize, but I've been trying to give people opportunity to speak. Um, yeah, I connected very deeply with this workshop, specifically as someone that deals with a lot of breath work personally. I'm a professional singer and musician, so we deal with breath all the time. And, you know, I have always wondered personally, when I teach a singer to breathe for singing, it always involves somewhat engaging the lower portions of the breath. Similar, similar to how, like we in Zen or in Taoist breathing talk about filling the dantian, which is sort of the energetic base toward in like the South Asian system of like chakral systems, filling sort of the roots and the sacrums, those sorts of things. Um, and so I've always wondered how much of singing technique is about activating the parasympathetic system. Because if you know anything about singing, you know that it's almost impossible if you to do well if your system is quote unquote worked up. If you're in a state of fight or flight, or freeze or fawn or whatever, you actually cannot perform very well. The system sort of locks up, and you remove all sense of what Chisek Mihai calls flow state. You sort of remove all of that, and you become either you become very aware, you tunnel, or you become very unaware, you get hazy.
Yeah.
And what you're really looking for is clarity. So yeah, so this workshop really connected with me on that level and made me think about how many of my clients and my students have issues performing simply because their breathing is leading them into fight or flight, or it's
Oh.
flight is leading them into bad breathing for the situation. So that I thought about that on the plane ride home a few days later.
That's
But, yeah,
so
it's beautiful.
interesting.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that connection. Thank you for sharing that.
You're so welcome.
My my plan was to also do a journey work, but things started running a little late. But the first day is always really exciting. People stayed up. I know I did. I think that's one of the other beautiful things about Jedi gatherings is that in between just the workshops, you get into these all wonderful conversations with Jedi. This location had like a little recreational room too. We ended up playing some pool. It did also have some board games. I know some people played some board games. Um, but I know Sam was able to join us for Saturday. Um, but I believe, Sam, did you make it to the morning workshop with Ross?
No, that was the one that I didn't make to, and I made to the last two workshops in the day.
Okay. So for Saturday, we ended up doing Forging the Jedi Spirit, the Path to Fortitude with Master Raphael Ben Raven, who led us into some discussions on how to inspire or forge your inner fire. We went into some exercises that have challenged what we think we're capable of, and how sometimes when we think we can't do it, it's really just our mind who is getting in the way of what we actually can do. Which was wonderful. We all, I know one of our young Jedi, ended up having a wonderful experience where they felt supported by the community and ended up holding like a weight in their hand. And with the support of the community, she ended up holding it a lot longer than thought she could have. So I know that was a beautiful experience for her. It was also really beautiful to see the community come together to like give her, strength. So I think that was one of the experiences that I remember most of that. But I don't know if anybody else wanted to comment about that workshop real quick. All right. And then after that, it was the Reforged Spirit from Rust to Resilience from Jedi Tragamite, who ended up teaching us about how iron, if it's not taken care of, can lead to rust, and discussed how our bodies are very similar, how all of us need certain things to take care of ourselves and our mental health, and if we're not on top of it, can also cause rust. We ended up exploring a lot of similar topics of fortitude. But I really appreciated the idea and the things that we discussed on that workshop. Anybody else want to discuss or share anything about that one? All right. And then the one.
Hold on. I do want to say something. Sorry, it took me forever to get it there. All I have to say is Shepherd's Crook ended up being our spirit stick, our talking stick, which was really weird, having a huge stick as a talking stick. So I had to run around the whole room.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what was the point? Because everybody just took turns, because that's what Jedi do. But I was still running around like crazy person. It was so fun.
Yes. And then after lunch, we ended up having the fire building workshop with the Jedi Talon Kaidan, which was a favorite among many. We've had this workshop done in Chicago before, and I was really excited too when that came up. But I'd love to, Sam, for you to share what it was for you, then me describe it, because I know you had a really incredible experience.
Yeah, I did. It was, for those of you who had not ever experienced it, he basically was teaching us how to be able to start a fire from scratch with, various like building techniques with the different kinds of like kindling and such, like being able to tell what will light up first, being able to tell what you can use to quickly create a fire, and what will give it enough, like what forms will give it enough oxygen to stay alive and keep itself. Um, I had a really, really incredible experience with this one in particular. I was paired up with Jedi Knight Breeze, now Jedi Knight Breeze, um, and he really helped me out because I had never started a fire before, not from scratch or anything like that. Um, and it was kind of an amazing experience to like not only get that kind of help and guidance, but to also be getting like after a while, like, I was struggling to light that thing. It kept sparking, but it wouldn't actually catch. I think you remember seeing that,
Mhm.
Karina. Um, but he gave me some really kind words. He said, "Don't get discouraged, like, keep trying and it will catch." And when it finally did catch, it kind of, like, burst in a spark. It was a massive, like, spark that finally actually caught. And I found that, Dan also showed us how to, take care of the fire to keep it going as well, like where to blow onto to give it more oxygen. And I was able to utilize that to keep this fire. I think it was the longest lasting of the fires that was made that day. Because Breeze and I together just kept making sure it was fed and making sure the oxygen was to it, it wouldn't die. So, yeah, it was a really, really amazing experience, honestly. It was really cool to be able to just do that from absolute scratch. It's a great, like, survival technique, but it's also kind of there's something, I don't know, kind of, like, cleansing a little bit about starting a fire. Maybe that's scary to admit, but
No,
but it was
I
amazing.
love it. Yeah, no, I was so excited for you when you finally caught, because I saw you struggling, but I also knew how excited you were gonna get, because I got so excited because I
I
struggled
recalled you
my first
straight up
time too.
cheering, like, you
Yes,
screamed in
I
joy.
screamed. I was so excited. I did the same thing when I caught mine on fire because I had never done it before. I don't know, I guess city people are right.
Right? It was really
Um,
cool. It was exciting.
I loved it. Also, Dan is also, one of our most wonderful, very prepared Boy Scout. No, he's very certified to be teaching this stuff. I also had all the safety features all around, including traveling Vader had water buckets ready just
Yeah.
in case. But yeah, that was a favorite among a lot of people, and I'm so glad that you got to experience it and the joy that you got. Because yeah, I definitely saw that.
Yeah, and I have to say the best part of it was just the experience of being present with everyone who was like incredibly encouraging. It never felt like anyone took it from me and like did it for me. It was everyone was encouraging me to like be able to complete it on my own, and that was pretty amazing.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing, Sam. Anybody else that wanted to share anything about that? All right. And then the last kind of things that we ended up doing was sharing the winner of the raffle, which was also Sam. We ended up getting a bunch of things that we are going to be selling as well on the website. So being on the lookout for some of that. Um, but we had some blankets, some journals, a backpack that Allie made. The I don't remember those pictures, but um But speaking of pictures, I will be posting a link to the Jedi Gathering photos. That way people can kind of see. But yes, one of the main events was the knighting of Breeze or Breeze del Tierno. I was so proud to be a part of that. I've known Breeze for a long time, and he's been one of my close friends. So when he asked, if I could be a stand-in for a mentor, I absolutely agreed, but I had already had it in my head that it was going to be me, so it just worked out beautifully. Gabe, you were our master mystic. If you'd like to share anything about that.
Oh yes, it's always an honor to be able to stand and preside at some of these ceremonies. And again, just anybody who knows Breeze, it really is a breeze to just sit and talk with him. He has like a wealth of knowledge, and he is so genuine that I knew like right off the bat, like yes, of course he's a Knight material, and I'm glad everybody else recognizes it too. So it's just very, very love. I still remember the one gathering where he goes up and doesn't even say a word. He just points his finger in the air, and like we all knew exactly, like yes, that's it. That's the type of energy he gives. So it was just very calm and soothing. So it's just a wonderful person.
Yes, yes. And
I just want to highlight something with Breeze. Record timing on passing his practical. Record timing. It took no time at all to pass that. We were all.
Yeah. No, I'm so proud of him. I am really glad to have been able to do that this year. And always look forward to seeing him at every other gathering. But that pretty much, concludes the gathering and what we ended up doing this year. This year's theme was fortitude and resilience. So that's what a lot of the workshops revolved around. My goal, because this is one of the themes that I ended up sharing, and it got voted on and people enjoyed it. But the world is pretty chaotic right now. Wherever you look, there's a lot going on, and I hope that what people got out of it is just different tools to keep hanging in there, because I think as Jedi, we are the light sometimes. We are going into spaces where that needs a light in, but who also is taking care of that light. So I always want to make sure that we are taking care of each other, taking care of ourselves, so that we can continue helping others in ways, especially moving forward. I'm glad for everybody that came, all the conversations that were had. I think Sasha said it beautifully. I think I got to know other people more in depth, even though I've known a lot of people already. But this year, relatively went pretty smooth, and I enjoyed it. I don't know if anybody else wants to have any last comments about the gathering that they'd like to share.
I would love to share that, you mentioned earlier on that the house might have had some haunted feels, but I got to tell you, nothing would have been better than if we had been able to do the ICM at a cemetery near a school. And then got some. Okay, that's the laugh I needed to close it off.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes. At the end of the at the end of all the workshops, they wanted to do an ICM, and they're like, "Where is everybody?" And they're like, we're by a cemetery, by a school." Okay, where are you guys? Sam was part of that conversation. I don't know where they disappeared to.
Jedi?
Who are you with, Jedi?
That was my first experience of the gathering, and I'm never going to forget it.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited that you had such a good time, Sam. You're like that, you fit in right away, and I'm so glad that you ended up staying over, and that you were comfortable there.
Absolutely. And I am excited for all of the future Jedi stuff that I'll be doing, because I definitely feel at home here.
Oh, thank you. I guess the last thing that just to kind of close it off, you know, I also want to share, open the floor for anybody to share if there was somebody who inspired them or any sort of gratitude to share. Because for me, I already shared, but the experience that I had with Breeze being part of his knighthood, it was my favorite. I'm really also really grateful for all the other leaders who took care of everything. Jay, always grateful for their effort and everybody who helped clean. Gatherings are absolutely a whole community of base. You know, nobody here is getting paid for their volunteer time. So people really do come together to make it happen. And I'm always so filled with, I want to say pride, but people get together and we're all helping each other out, and it really reminds me of family. So that's why I say that I do feel like I'm coming back to family reunions. We just get to spend a weekend together, talk all night, and then be tired in the mornings, but be filled. You know, our bodies are tired, but our hearts are full. But I'm looking forward to next year's. We're still in development to make those decisions, but that's what today's vote was about. So we'll be keeping everybody posted for those very soon. And then I will be posting the link to the photos that we all took. I asked everybody to share the pictures of anything that caught their attention. So you'll see pictures in there of plans that people connected to from Sasha's workshop, different pictures of the workshops, but some selfies in there. So everybody got to share what they felt was valuable. In there's also a picture of people's drawings. There's a little, it's like a little whiteboard that says 2025 Indiana Jedi Gathering. But people drew a little bit of things that they remember in their favorite workshops or quotes that they remember. So now it'll make more sense when you guys go in there, especially now that we kind of broke it down. But that's all I really had to share or wanted to explore. A lot of people always want to know what goes on at Jedi gatherings, but there's no real way to encapsulate the magic because most of the magic happens when the workshops are not going on. But I found the community about in 2018 and got hooked at my first gathering. And I have been going ever since because yeah, the vibes. People are so genuine. I have always I've had so many beautiful experience with people at gatherings. Each person I feel has such a unique way to view the world. And I always get so excited. This is the first time I got to meet Connor, and I told Connor, I was like, I need to get you somewhere so that I can pick your brain because he's one of the first people I haven't seen or gotten to know in a while. But Connor, it was a pleasure to get to talk to you in the few minutes that I got to get you.
Same. You can still get me on a Zoom call. You don't have to.
Well, I might.
You don't have to wait till next year.
I might. But thank you everybody for coming and for being part of this town hall. Really looking forward to what we continue to build. I do also have Jedi Hangouts that we're going to be hosting once a month. The next one's going to be August 13, which is a Wednesday. I will be posting those announcements as well. And I know Sarah's going to do some here and there as well. But our classes, are going to be starting every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. And I'm excited to be part of those again. Yeah. Any parting words, Sophia, President? I think they said they're cooking, so probably not. All right, friends.
If I could chime in real quick.
Yes.
So, shameless self-promotion, but there was a thread that I created on the general forum on the Discord called The Grove. Feel free to post any of your plant identifications there. There's a little template that you can follow. If you don't have all the information, just post what you have. I'd love to see what y'all are finding out there and see some of the plants that y'all are getting to know.
Oh, lovely. Yes, that's exciting. All right, friends. Well, that's it. I hope everybody else has a lovely evening.
Wait a second. Wait. Sorry.
Oh,
Where is this?
in the forums.
It's on the Discord where it says general forum, like where the Jedi appreciation thread and
Oh,
everything
the
is.
Grove.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
I
thank you.
posted a template and an example, and then I think Allie posted hers about the Eastern Red Cedar as well.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to looking into this. Thank you.
All right, friends. Then I guess that's it. May the force be with all of you. Continue to keep in touch through Discord. If you are not in there, we'll be posting a link with this. But yes, we're on Facebook, Messenger as well. But all the exciting stuff happens at Discord. So we'll see you guys in there. Have a beautiful night, everybody. Bye.